Commander Hana Kim stood on the bridge of the Silent Thunder, watching the alien ships approach Earth's solar system. Her fingers moved across the control panel with practiced ease. The ship stayed hidden behind its advanced cloaking technology. No one in the galaxy knew humans could build ships like this. "They're broadcasting again," said Lieutenant Wu Jin from his station. His voice was calm, but Hana could see the tension in his shoulders. "Same message as always. They want to talk," Hana nodded. The aliens had been trying to contact Earth for over 200 years. Every time, Earth stayed silent. The galaxy thought humans were too primitive to understand the messages. They were wrong. "How many ships this time?" Hana asked. 57, Jin replied. "Looks like they're serious about making contact today." Dr. Tae Lim walked onto the bridge. His lab coat was wrinkled from working all night. He carried a data pad filled with information about the alien fleet. "I've finished analyzing their technology," he said. "Their weapons are about 60 years behind what we expected." Hana was not surprised. Humans had been watching the galaxy for decades. They knew exactly what every alien race could do. While the aliens thought Earth was a quiet, backward world, human agents had been studying them carefully. "Any new species in the fleet?" she asked. 3 ships from the Helix Republic," Tae said. "The rest are standard Confederation vessels. Nothing we haven't seen before." The Galactic Confederation controlled most of the known galaxy. They claimed to bring peace and order to primitive worlds. In reality, they conquered weaker species and used them as workers and soldiers. Earth had learned this truth long ago. Captain Wu Jin's voice came through the ship's communication system. "All crews prepare for extended observation. We may be here for several days." Hana looked at the main screen showing Earth in the distance. The blue and green planet looked peaceful from space. The aliens had no idea what was really happening on the surface. Massive shipyards worked day and night, building vessels that could cross the galaxy in weeks instead of months. Scientists developed weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Military academies trained officers who understood alien tactics better than the aliens. "Themselves, Commander," said a young officer named Sue Park. She was new to the ship but already proved herself capable. "We're receiving a priority message from Earth Command." "Put it through," Hana said. Ambassador Nari Song's face appeared on a small screen. Her expression was serious. "Hana, the Council has made their decision. Earth will continue to remain silent. Under no circumstances are you to reveal our presence to the alien fleet." "Understood," Hana replied. "What if they try to land on Earth?" "Our planetary defenses will handle that," Nari said. "The aliens will think it's natural phenomena. Magnetic storms, equipment failures. They won't suspect human intervention." Hana knew about Earth's defenses. Invisible satellites surrounded the planet, capable of disabling any ship that came too close. The aliens would never reach the surface unless humanity wanted them to. "There's something else," Nari continued. "Our deep space monitors have detected movement in the outer rim. The Talon Empire is gathering ships near the Helix border. We think they're planning something big." The Talon Empire was the most aggressive species in the galaxy. They believed in conquest through force. Unlike the Confederation, which at least pretended to care about peace, the Talons made no secret of their desire to dominate other races. "War?" Hana asked, possibly. "Keep watching the Confederation fleet. If they receive new orders, we need to know immediately." The screen went dark. Hana turned back to observing the alien ships. They moved in perfect formation, following patterns that human tacticians had studied for years. The aliens were predictable. They followed the same strategies over and over again. "Commander," Jin said, "the lead ship is moving closer to Earth. They're entering the outer atmosphere." Hana watched as the alien vessel descended toward the planet. She knew what would happen next. Earth's defense systems would create a powerful electromagnetic pulse that would look like a natural solar storm. The alien ship would lose power and be forced to retreat. "There it is," Sue said as the alien ship suddenly changed course and moved away from Earth. Their communications array just went dark. Tae smiled. "Right on schedule. They'll report to their commanders that Earth's magnetic field is too unstable for safe landing." It was the same story every time. The aliens would try different approaches, but Earth's defenses always found ways to stop them, without revealing human technology. The galaxy continued to believe that Earth was a primitive world protected only by natural phenomena. "How long have we been doing this?" Sue asked. She was young enough to have grown up with the deception. but old enough to understand its importance. My grandfather was part of the first contact protocols, Jin said, back when the aliens first found our solar system. Earth's leaders made a simple decision: watch and learn before revealing ourselves. Smart choice, Hana said. We learned that the galaxy is dangerous. Species that reveal themselves too early become slaves or soldiers for more powerful races. By staying hidden, we had time to develop technology that could protect us. Tay nodded. And not just protect us. Our ships are faster than anything in the galaxy. Our weapons are more accurate. Our armor is stronger. When the time comes to reveal ourselves, we'll do it from a position of strength. If the time comes, Hana corrected. The Council still hopes the galaxy will learn to live in peace without our intervention. She knew that hope was probably false. The reports from human agents throughout the galaxy painted a grim picture. The major powers were moving toward war. Ancient weapons were being discovered and studied. Peaceful species were being enslaved or destroyed, but Earth would continue to wait and watch. Humanity had learned patience from their years of observation. They understood that revealing themselves too early could doom not just Earth but every peaceful species in the galaxy. The alien fleet began to withdraw from Earth's solar system. Their mission had failed once again. They would return to their commanders and report that the primitive world of Earth remained unreachable due to natural hazards. Hana allowed herself a small smile. If only they knew that the hazards were not natural at all. They were the careful work of a species that had chosen to remain hidden until the galaxy proved it deserved Earth's help. That day had not yet come. Admiral Bo Kang stood in the command center deep beneath Seoul. Dozens of screens showed activity across the galaxy. Each one displayed information gathered by human agents who had been living among alien species for decades. The aliens had no idea that humans could disguise themselves so perfectly. "Admiral," called Lieutenant Sue Park as she entered the room. She had been promoted after her excellent work aboard the Silent Thunder. "We have new intelligence from the Helix Republic. Agent Moon is reporting unusual military movements." Bo studied the information on his datapad. Agent Moon had been living as a Helix citizen for 12 years. She used advanced holographic technology to appear as one of their species. The disguise was so good that she had risen to become an advisor in their military command. "What kind of movements?" Bo asked. "They're pulling ships back from their border worlds," Sue replied. "It looks like they're preparing for something big." On another screen, information came in from Agent Kim. He was embedded deep within the Talon Empire's war machine. For 8 years, he had pretended to be a Talon officer. His reports painted a picture of a species preparing for massive conquest. "The Talons are moving too," said Dr. Youngback as he joined them. He was Earth's expert on alien psychology and military strategy. "Agent Kim reports they're gathering their entire fleet near Sector 7. Bo frowned. Sector 7 was where the galaxy's 3 major powers met. The Galactic Confederation controlled the center. The Helix Republic held the eastern regions, and the Talon Empire dominated the west. If all 3 powers were moving ships to that area, war was almost certain. "What about the Confederation?" Bo asked. "Chancellor Yuki Rowe is calling for an emergency session of the Galactic Council," Sue said. "Our agents in their government report that they're planning to demand tribute from all member worlds." Bo had met Chancellor Rowe once, though she did not know it. He had been disguised as a minor diplomat from a neutral world. The Chancellor was intelligent but arrogant. She believed the Confederation had a right to rule the galaxy. "Tribute?" Young asked. "What kind of tribute?" "Ships, soldiers, and resources," Sue replied. "They want every member world to contribute 40% of their military forces to the Confederation fleet." Bo understood what this meant. The Confederation was preparing for war against both the Helix Republic and the Talon Empire. They planned to use smaller species as cannon fodder while keeping their own losses minimal. "Sir," called Agent Coordinator Jin Ho from his station. Jin was responsible for managing Earth's network of deep cover agents. "We're receiving a priority transmission from Agent Lee in the Outer Rim." The main screen showed a recording from Agent Lee. She was stationed on a mining world controlled by the Talons. Her holographic disguise made her appear as a common worker. But she was actually one of Earth's best intelligence officers. "Command, I'm reporting a massacre." Lee's voice was tight with controlled anger. War Chief Grix ordered the execution of 3,000 civilian miners. Their crime was asking for better working conditions. Bo watched the recording with growing disgust. The Talons had always been brutal, but this level of cruelty was extreme even for them. War Chief Grix was known throughout the galaxy as a monster who enjoyed causing pain. There's more, Lee continued. I've learned that Grix has been ordered to prepare for cleansing operations on 12 different worlds. He plans to eliminate all non-Talon populations in his sector. Young shook his head in disbelief. Genocide on 12 worlds? How many people are we talking about? Approximately 40 million sentient beings, Jin replied after checking his data. Mostly peaceful species that have never threatened anyone. Bo felt the familiar weight of command pressing down on him. Earth had the power to stop this. Human ships could reach those worlds in days. Human weapons could destroy the Talon fleets before they could carry out their plans. But Earth's orders were clear. Observe and gather intelligence. Do not interfere. What about the ancient weapon? Bo asked. Any new intelligence? Young's expression became even more serious. Agent Park has made contact with a Helix scientist who claims to have studied it. The weapon is called the Life Eater in the old records. It's designed to drain energy from living beings across entire star systems. The ancient weapon was the galaxy's most dangerous secret. It had been built by a long-dead civilization and hidden somewhere in the outer rim. All three major powers were searching for it. Whoever found it first would have the power to destroy their enemies completely. How does it work? Sue asked. According to the scientist, it feeds on neural energy, Young explained. It targets the brain patterns of sentient species and converts their life force into raw power. The more intelligent the species, the more energy it produces. Bo felt a chill run down his spine. How many people would it kill? If used at full power, it could drain the life from every sentient being in a solar system within hours, Young said. The victims would simply collapse and die. No pain, no warning, just death. Jin's station began beeping with urgent alerts. Admiral, we're receiving multiple reports from our agents. All three powers are accelerating their search for the weapon. They know war is coming, and they want to find it first. Bo studied the tactical displays. Red markers showed Confederation fleets moving toward suspected weapon locations. Blue markers indicated Helix search teams exploring ancient ruins. Green markers tracked Talon forces as they conquered worlds that might hold clues to the weapon's location. They're going to tear the galaxy apart looking for that thing, Sue observed. And when they find it, they'll use it, Young added. None of these powers care about civilian casualties. They'll test it on inhabited worlds just to see how well it works. Bo made a decision that went against his direct orders. Jin, I want you to send a coded message to all our deep cover agents. If any of them discover the weapon's location, they are to report it immediately to Earth Command. Under no circumstances should they allow any alien power to claim it. Yes, sir, Jin replied. But Admiral, if our agents interfere directly, they might be discovered. Then they'll have to be very careful, Bo said. The safety of 40 billion sentient beings is more important than maintaining our cover. A new alert came from Agent Kim in the Talon Empire. Command, I've learned something disturbing. War Chief Grix believes he's found the weapon's location. He's planning an expedition to a dead world in the Forbidden Zone. The Forbidden Zone was an area of space that all galactic powers avoided. Ancient warnings spoke of terrible dangers that destroyed entire fleets. Most species believed the warnings were just superstition, but if the weapon was hidden there, the warnings might be real. How long before Grix reaches the zone? Bo asked. His fleet will arrive in 6 days, Jin replied after checking the data. If he finds the weapon, he'll use it on the Helix Republic first, Young finished. 40 billion people will die in the first test. Bo looked around the command center. Every screen showed evidence of the coming catastrophe. The galaxy's major powers were rushing toward a war that would destroy countless innocent lives. The ancient weapon would ensure that the war ended not with victory, but with genocide. For over 2 centuries, Earth had watched and waited. They had hoped the galaxy would learn to live in peace. They had believed that patience and careful observation would eventually lead to a better future. But the galaxy was running out of time. Soon, Earth would have to decide whether to remain hidden or step forward to prevent the greatest massacre in galactic history. The decision would not be easy. Revealing Earth's true capabilities would change everything. The galaxy would never be the same, but doing nothing would mean watching billions of innocent people die. As Bo studied the tactical displays, he realized that Earth's long period of silence was about to end. President Da-Yun Choi sat in the emergency council chamber beneath the mountains of Korea. Around the table sat Earth's most important leaders. General Hyun-ju commanded all human military forces. Dr. Young Baek led the Intelligence Analysis Division. Admiral Bo Kang controlled the deep space operations. They had gathered to make the most important decision in human history. "The situation is critical," Dr. Young said as he activated the holographic display. Images of alien fleets appeared above the table. "War has begun across 17 star systems. The Talon Empire attacked 3 Helix worlds yesterday. Over 6 million civilians are dead." President Choi studied the images with growing horror. She had seen intelligence reports for years, but watching actual footage of the destruction was different. Entire cities had been reduced to ash. Orbital stations fell like burning stars. "The Confederation's response?" she asked. "They declared the attacked worlds to be disputed territory," General Hyun replied. His voice was filled with disgust. "They're using the war as an excuse to claim neutral systems for themselves." Admiral Bo activated another display. "Our agents report that all 3 powers are now actively hunting for the ancient weapon. War Chief Grix reached the Forbidden Zone 2 days ago. His scouts have found something." "What kind of something?" President Choi asked. Dr. Young brought up a new image. It showed a massive structure buried deep in an asteroid field. The structure was clearly artificial, but it looked nothing like any known technology. Strange symbols covered its surface, and it seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Agent Kim managed to transmit this image before his team was ordered to maintain communication silence, Young explained. "The structure matches descriptions from the ancient texts. We believe this is the weapon." President Choi felt her heart skip a beat. "How long before they activate it?" "Unknown," Bo replied. "But our psychological profiles suggest that Grix will want to test it as soon as possible. He's not the type to wait." General Hyun leaned forward. "Madam President, our fleet is ready. We can reach the Forbidden Zone in 3 days. If we move now, we can stop them and reveal our existence to the galaxy," President Choi said, after 200 years of secrecy. It was the dilemma that had haunted Earth's leaders for generations. Staying hidden had allowed humanity to develop superior technology and gather crucial intelligence. But it also meant watching terrible events unfold without intervention. "There's something else," Dr. Young said quietly. "Our analysis of the weapon's design suggests it requires a test on living subjects to calibrate properly. The Talons will need to use it on an inhabited world." "Which world?" President Choi asked, though she feared the answer. Young highlighted a blue star system on the display. "The Kelvari system, home to 2 billion peaceful farmers and artists. They have no military, no defenses. Perfect test subjects." President Choi closed her eyes. The Kelvari were one of the galaxy's most gentle species. They had never fought a war, never conquered another world. They spent their time growing food and creating beautiful art. The idea of them being used as test subjects for a weapon of mass destruction was unbearable. "Our ships could reach Kelvari first," General Hyun said. "We could evacuate the population." 2 billion people? Bo asked. "Even with our entire transport fleet, we could only move a fraction of them." "And where would we take them?" "Every world in the galaxy is either at war or about to be." Agent Coordinator Jin Ho entered the chamber carrying an urgent message pad. "Madam President, priority transmission from Agent Kim. The Talons have activated the weapon. Initial tests are successful." The room fell silent. President Choi felt the weight of billions of lives pressing down on her shoulders. The ancient weapon was real, it worked, and it was in the hands of the galaxy's most brutal species. "How long before they use it on Kelvari?" she asked. "Agent Kim estimates 4 days, Jin replied. "They want to run more tests on the weapon's power levels first." General Hyun stood up. "Madam President, we cannot allow this to happen. The Kelvari are innocent. They've never harmed anyone. Neither have dozens of other species that the galaxy's powers have destroyed over the years." President Choi replied. "If we reveal ourselves now, we become part of this war. Earth will be a target." Dr. Young activated another display showing Earth's defenses. "Our planetary shields can protect us from conventional weapons. But if they turn that ancient weapon on Earth, we don't know if our defenses could stop it," Bo finished. "The weapon operates on principles we don't fully understand." President Choi walked to the window overlooking the valley below. She could see normal people going about their daily lives, unaware that the fate of the galaxy was being decided in the room behind her. Children played in the streets. Families shared meals together. Earth was peaceful because humanity had chosen to remain hidden, but that peace had come at a terrible cost. While Earth developed and prospered, the galaxy had descended into cycles of war and oppression. Peaceful species were enslaved or destroyed. Tyrants ruled over subjects who had no hope of freedom. "Show me our fleet status," she said finally. General Hyun brought up the military displays, 150 capital ships ready for immediate deployment, each one equipped with weapons and defenses 50 years ahead of anything in the galaxy. "Our crews have trained against alien tactics for decades." "Our intelligence network?" President Choi asked. "Agents embedded in every major power," Bo replied. "We know their communication codes, their ship positions, their strategic plans. We could coordinate strikes across the galaxy simultaneously." "And the risks?" Dr. Young answered honestly. "Total war. Once we reveal our technology, every power in the galaxy will see us as either an ally to be courted or an enemy to be destroyed. Earth's peaceful isolation will end forever." President Choi thought about her daughter who was studying art at the university. She thought about her elderly parents who remembered the early days when humanity first detected alien signals. They had all grown up believing that Earth's silence was wisdom, but wisdom without action was just cowardice. "There's a fourth option," she said slowly. "We don't just stop the weapon. We end the war entirely." The room stirred with excitement and fear. General Hyun leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "We reveal ourselves not as another faction seeking territory, but as guardians," President Choi explained. "We destroy the weapon, stop the fighting, and establish a new order based on justice rather than conquest." "That would require defeating all three major powers," Bo said. "Simultaneously, can we do it?" President Choi asked. General Hyun smiled for the first time in days. "Madam President, our ships have been waiting for this moment for 200 years. Yes, we can do it." Dr. Young brought up tactical simulations. "Our advantage in speed and firepower is overwhelming. If we strike their command centers simultaneously, we could end organized resistance within hours." "And then what?" President Choi asked. "We become the galaxy's rulers?" "No," she answered herself. "We become the galaxy's protectors. We establish a real peace, not just the absence of war." Agent Jin received another urgent message. "Madam President, Agent Kim reports that the Talons are preparing to move the weapon to Kelvari. Final test in 2 days." President Choi looked around the table at the leaders who had served Earth faithfully for decades. They had kept humanity safe through patience and careful planning. Now they would have to trust in preparation and superior technology. "Send the order," she said firmly. "All fleet commanders are to prepare for immediate deployment. We will stop the weapon, end the war, and reveal Earth to the galaxy." "And our message to the galactic powers?" General Hyun asked. President Choi thought for a moment. "Tell them that Earth has been watching. Tell them we're disappointed in what we've seen, and tell them that their wars end now." She paused, feeling the weight of history in her words. "Tell them this is their only warning." Fleet Admiral Huan Lee stood on the bridge of the Earthship Thunderstrike as it dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Around him, 149 other human ships appeared in perfect formation across 17 different star systems. After 2 centuries of hiding, Earth's fleet had finally revealed itself to the galaxy. "All ships report ready status," announced Captain Mira Shin from her position at the tactical station. She commanded the elite strike force responsible for destroying the ancient weapon. "Operation Guardian is a go." Admiral Lee opened communication channels to every ship in the fleet. "This is Admiral Lee to all human forces. Today we end 200 years of silence. Today we show the galaxy what Earth can do when peaceful people are pushed too far." On the main screen, he could see the Talon fleet guarding the ancient weapon in the Forbidden Zone. War Chief Grix had positioned 37 ships around the mysterious structure. They had no idea that human vessels were already within striking distance. "Tactical analysis, Captain Shin?" Lee asked. "Their formation is defensive but outdated," Mira replied. She had studied alien battle tactics for 15 years. "They're using strategies that were effective 50 years ago. Our ships can punch through their lines in less than 10 minutes. Dr. Kun Yang, the fleet's military scientist, looked up from his instruments. "Admiral, I'm detecting massive energy buildup from the weapon. They're preparing to transport it to the Kelvari system." Lee felt anger building in his chest. The Kelvari were defenseless farmers who had never hurt anyone, Using them as test subjects for a weapon of mass destruction was beyond cruel. It was evil. All ships engage cloaking systems, he ordered. Move to attack positions. Across the galaxy, human ships began their coordinated assault. Admiral Bo Kang led the assault on the Confederation's capital fleet near the core worlds. Admiral Subin Nam attacked the Helix, Republic's main battle group in the eastern rim. Each human commander had trained for this moment their entire career. Weapon transport ship is moving toward the Kelvari system, reported Lieutenant J. Park from his sensor station. War Chief Grix is aboard personally, Lee nodded. The psychological profiles had predicted this. Grix would want to watch the weapon's first real test. He enjoyed seeing others suffer. Captain Shin, take your strike team and intercept that transport, Lee ordered. The weapon cannot reach Kelvari. Understood, Admiral, Mira replied. She gathered her team of 12 fast attack ships. Each one was equipped with the most advanced weapons Earth could build. Strike Team Alpha, follow me. As Mira's ships moved toward the transport, Lee prepared to deal with the main Talon fleet. He opened a communication channel to War Chief Grix. Attention Talon vessels, he said in perfect Talon language. This is Admiral Huan Lee of the Earth Defense Force. You are ordered to stand down immediately and surrender the ancient weapon. The response came quickly. Grix's brutal face appeared on the screen, his expression filled with rage and confusion. Earth, impossible! Earth is a primitive world with no space capability. You have been misinformed, Lee replied calmly. You have 10 seconds to comply with our demands. Grix laughed, a harsh sound that made several human officers wince. One ship against my entire fleet? You must be insane. Look again, Lee said. He ordered all human ships to decloak simultaneously. Across the Forbidden Zone, advanced Earth vessels appeared as if from nowhere. Their sleek designs and obvious technological superiority left the Talon fleet stunned into silence. Impossible, Grix whispered. 10 seconds are up, Lee said. All ships open fire. The battle lasted exactly 17 minutes and 34 seconds. Human weapons cut through Talon shields like they were made of paper. Earth ships moved faster than anything the Talons had ever seen, dodging return fire with ease. Within minutes, half the Talon fleet was destroyed or disabled. Meanwhile, Captain Mira's strike team caught up with the weapon transport near the edge of the system. The massive ship was surrounded by 12 escort vessels, but they posed no real threat to human technology. Transport vessel, this is Captain Mira Shin of Earth, she announced. Shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded. The response was immediate weapons fire. The Talon escorts opened up with everything they had, filling space with energy blasts and missiles. None of them came close to hitting the human ships. Defensive fire only, Mira ordered her team. Disable their weapons but avoid killing crew members unless necessary. Human precision fire took out the escort ship's weapon systems one by one. Within minutes, the escorts were helpless. The transport ship tried to run, but human engines were far superior. Mira's ship caught up easily. Deploy boarding pods, she ordered. Small, heavily armed shuttles launched from the human ships. They used advanced cutting tools to penetrate the transport's hull. Within minutes, human marines were fighting their way through the ship's corridors. The ancient weapon was stored in the transport's main cargo bay. It looked even more menacing in person than it had in the intelligence photos. Dark metal twisted into impossible shapes, covered with symbols that seemed to hurt the eyes when looked at directly. Mira to Dr. Yang, she called over the radio. I need you to tell me how to safely disable this thing. Be very careful, Yang replied from the Thunderstrike. According to our analysis, the weapon is powered by a contained singularity. If you damage the wrong component, it could collapse into a black hole. Mira studied the weapon carefully. She could see where the Talons had attached their own control systems to the ancient device. Those connections would be the safest place to start. Bring me a plasma cutter, she ordered one of her Marines. We're going to disconnect their modifications first. While Mira worked on the weapon, Admiral Lee finished dealing with the main Talon fleet. War Chief Grix's flagship was the last ship standing, its weapons destroyed and engines offline. This is impossible, Grix kept repeating over the communication channel. Earth cannot have this technology. Where did you get it? We built it ourselves, Lee replied. While you were conquering and destroying, we were learning and creating. We've been watching your species for decades, studying your tactics, understanding your weaknesses. You've been spying on us? "We've been hoping you would choose a better path," Lee said sadly. "You disappointed us." Across the galaxy, similar conversations were taking place. Human fleets had struck simultaneously at every major military installation belonging to the three galactic powers. The Confederation's Supreme Chancellor Vorthak found herself facing Admiral Bo Kang's ships outside her capital world. The Helix Republic's military command was surrounded by Admiral Subin's forces. Mira to Admiral Lee came the call from the transport ship. "Weapon is secured. I've disconnected all Talon modifications and established a containment field around the device." "Excellent work, Captain," Lee replied. "How long to transport it to our secure facility?" 6 hours with our fastest transport," Mira answered. Lee nodded with satisfaction. The ancient weapon would be taken to a secret human research station, where it would be studied safely. Eventually, it would be destroyed completely, ensuring that no one could ever use it again. "Admiral?" called Lieutenant Park. "We're receiving surrender requests from all three galactic powers. They want to negotiate." Lee opened a communication channel that reached every major world in the galaxy. His face appeared on screens from the core worlds to the outer rim. "This is Admiral Juan Lee of Earth," he announced. "For over 200 years, we have watched the galaxy tear itself apart with endless wars. We hoped you would learn to live in peace. Instead, you have chosen genocide and conquest." He paused, letting his words sink in across thousands of worlds. "Earth has superior technology and superior numbers. We could destroy your fleets completely. We could conquer your worlds and rule you as subjects. But we are not you. We choose a different path." Another pause. "The ancient weapon has been secured and will be destroyed. All military operations against civilian populations will cease immediately. War criminals will be brought to trial. A new galactic government will be established based on justice and protection of all species." He looked directly into the camera. "This is not a negotiation. This is the new reality. Earth is no longer hidden. We are here, and we will not allow the galaxy to destroy itself." The transmission ended. Across 17 star systems, human ships held position around defeated alien fleets. The galaxy's long age of war was over. The age of Earth's guardianship had begun. Ambassador J1 walked into the Great Assembly Hall on the neutral world of Haven. Representatives from every species in the galaxy sat in carefully arranged sections. The hall had been built in just 6 months using human construction technology. It was larger and more beautiful than any building the galaxy had ever seen. 3 months had passed since Earth revealed itself to the galaxy. 3 months since human ships had ended the Galactic War in a single day. The old governments had surrendered quickly when they realized they could not fight Earth's superior technology. "The Galactic Assembly will come to order," announced Admiral Subin Nam, who now served as the temporary peacekeeping coordinator. "Ambassador Juan will address the assembly on behalf of Earth." Jay looked out at the thousands of faces staring back at him. Some showed curiosity, others fear. Many showed hope. These were representatives of species that had suffered under the old system. For the first time in their history, they had a voice in galactic government. "Members of the assembly," Jay began in the clear, simple language that had become the new galactic standard. "6 months ago, your worlds were at war. Billions of people were dying. Ancient weapons threatened to destroy entire star systems." He paused, looking at the section where former Chancellor Vorthak sat. She was no longer a ruler, but a prisoner awaiting trial for war crimes. Her proud expression had been replaced by bitter defeat. Today, the galaxy is at peace, not because one power conquered the others, but because Earth chose to end the cycle of violence that has plagued you for centuries. In the Helix section, Minister So Young Han sat with the new Helix representatives. The Helix Republic had accepted Earth's protection more easily than the others. Their species valued wisdom over conquest, and they recognized Earth's moral authority. "Many of you have asked why Earth remained hidden for so long," Jay continued. "Why we watched while terrible things happened. The answer is simple. We hoped you would choose peace on your own." He activated a holographic display showing the galaxy before Earth's intervention. Red zones marked areas of active warfare. Yellow zones showed regions under military occupation. Only small patches of green indicated truly free worlds. This was your galaxy 6 months ago. War, slavery, and oppression covered 90% of inhabited space. We could have revealed ourselves earlier, but what would have changed? You would have seen us as just another faction to fight or ally with. The display changed to show the current galaxy. Green zones now covered most of space. A few yellow areas marked worlds still transitioning to freedom. The red zones had disappeared completely. By waiting, we learned your true nature. We discovered which species could be trusted with power and which could not. We identified the real sources of conflict and the best solutions. In the audience, former War Chief Grix sat in heavy restraints. His trial had lasted 2 weeks and ended with a conviction for genocide. He would spend the rest of his life in prison, knowing that his dreams of conquest had ended in complete failure. The old system is gone forever, Jay announced. The Galactic Confederation, the Helix Republic, and the Talon Empire no longer exist as political entities. In their place, we established the Galactic Union, based on representation and protection of all species. Applause filled the hall. Many of the smaller species had never been allowed to participate in galactic government before. Now they would have equal voices with the former major powers. Earth will serve as the guardian of this new system, Jay continued. Our ships will patrol space lanes to prevent piracy. Our technology will help rebuild worlds damaged by war. Our scientists will share knowledge with those who prove they can use it responsibly. He looked at the section where Earth's former deep cover agents sat. Many of them had served for decades among alien species, gathering intelligence and waiting for this moment. Now they could reveal their true identities and work openly for peace. Some of you fear Earth's power, Jay said honestly. You wonder if we will become the tyrants we replaced. This is a fair concern. Power corrupts many species. He smiled slightly. But Earth has advantages you lack. We have observed the galaxy for 2 centuries. We have seen what happens when power is used for selfish gain. We have learned from your mistakes. Minister Han stood up in the Helix section. Ambassador Wan, how can we be sure Earth will not change? How do we know you will remain benevolent guardians? It was a question many representatives wanted to ask but feared to voice. Jay appreciated Han's courage in speaking openly. You cannot be sure, he replied honestly. No species can guarantee their own moral purity forever. That is why we are establishing systems of accountability. He activated another display showing the new governmental structure. Earth's authority is not absolute. The Galactic Union will have its own constitution, its own courts, its own representatives. If Earth ever acts against the galaxy's interests, you will have legal means to challenge us. And if Earth ignores your legal challenges? Asked a representative from the former Talon territories. Then you will have proof that we have become what we replaced, Jay answered. And the galaxy will have the right to resist us, just as we resisted the old powers. The honesty of this response surprised many representatives. They had expected Earth to claim perfect virtue or eternal righteousness. Instead, Earth acknowledged its own potential for corruption and built safeguards against it. There is something else you should know, Jay continued. Earth is not the only world with advanced technology. We have been quietly helping other species develop their own capabilities. In 50 years, the galaxy will have multiple powers capable of matching Earth's strength. This revelation caused excited murmuring throughout the hall. Many species had wondered if they would forever be dependent on Earth's protection. The Kelvari, whose world was saved from the ancient weapon, have proven exceptionally gifted at understanding energy manipulation, Jay explained. The Meridian species shows great promise in biological sciences. The Centauran colonies have developed remarkable skill in space engineering. He gestured to representatives from these species, who looked surprised to be mentioned. Earth's goal is not permanent dominance. Our goal is a galaxy where multiple peaceful powers can coexist and cooperate. Admiral Nam stepped forward to address the assembly. The trials of war criminals will continue for several more months. We have evidence of atrocities committed by leaders from all 3 former powers. Justice will be served. What about the ancient weapon? Asked a representative from the core worlds. Dr. Young Baek, now serving as Earth's chief scientific advisor, answered this question. The weapon has been completely destroyed. We used controlled antimatter charges to break it down to the molecular level. No trace remains. Relief was visible on many faces. The ancient weapon had terrified the galaxy for months. Knowing it was gone forever allowed many species to sleep peacefully for the first time in years. The galaxy stands at a new beginning, Jay said, as he prepared to conclude his address. For centuries you have known only war and oppression. You have forgotten what true peace feels like. He looked around the hall one final time. Earth remembers. We have lived in peace for over 1,000 years. We know it is possible because we have done it ourselves. Some of you will resist the changes we bring. Some will long for the old days when might made right. But most of you will discover something wonderful. A galaxy where children can grow up without fear, where species can develop their gifts without threat of conquest, where peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of justice. He stepped back from the podium. The new Galactic Charter will be presented for your approval tomorrow. Earth looks forward to working with all of you to build a better future. As the assembly adjourned, representatives from dozens of species approached Jay to express their gratitude. Many had tears in their eyes as they spoke of family members who had died in the wars, of worlds that had been destroyed, of dreams that had been crushed by violence. Later that evening, Jay stood on a balcony overlooking Haven's capital city. The city bustled with activity as species that had been enemies for centuries worked together to build the new government. Ambassador Nari Song joined him on the balcony. She had served as Earth's intelligence chief during the years of secrecy. Now she was transitioning to become Earth's first official ambassador to the Galactic Union. "Do you think it will work?" she asked quietly. Jay considered the question carefully. "The next 50 years will be challenging. Some species will test our resolve. Others will try to restart old conflicts. But yes, I think it will work." "How can you be so confident?" Jay smiled. "Because we have something the galaxy has never had before. A guardian power that doesn't want to rule. Earth's greatest strength is not our technology or our military. It's our willingness to step back and let others govern themselves." In the distance, Earth ships patrolled the space around Haven. Their presence was a reminder that peace was protected by strength, but strength guided by wisdom and restraint. "The galaxy called to Earth for 200 years, Jay said. We finally answered. Not with words, but with action. Not with conquest, but with justice." He looked up at the stars, knowing that human ships were now spread across the galaxy, watching over countless worlds and protecting billions of people. "We ignored their